blush when somebody says your name. In my stomach there's a pain. You walk in my direction.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kaylin and I am back with another video. Today's video is going to be very short and sweet. I'm just showing you guys all the books that I bought this week. Do I need to be buying books? Absolutely not. Did I buy books? Absolutely yes. So I bought 2 books just from Amazon that I just kind of stumbled upon. They weren't anything crazy, but I bought those from Amazon, and then I got a book of the month box for the month of May. So I did pause my book of the month subscription, but I ended up redoing it because I saw the Carly Ford, I don't know if you say her last name, Fortune or Fortune, and I saw that book, one that she recently just came out with, and I've heard great things about it. I've read the little synopsis and I was like, oh, that sounds like something I'd be interested in. So I wanted to get that, and then I saw another book on there that I added as like an additional add-on for the month. So I wanted to show you guys all the books that I got and then just update you. So the next video that you'll see is me finishing up a challenge. So I'm very excited for this challenge, but the challenge is taking me a long time, okay? And it's just realistic between being a mom, working, trying to do things for my business, all this kind of stuff. It's hard for me to get these long hours of reading done, and it's just realistic. So I wanted to have that done, but it's not done. So I decided to do this video just so I can get something up for you guys, and it's still bookish and you're still getting to see kind of, you know, the things that catch my attention and the books that I'm interested in. So the current book that I'm reading is Lady Tremaine, and I'm also reading The Nightingale, but I've been sticking more towards Lady Tremaine because I'm starting to get into it and understand what's going on, and it's starting to grab my attention a little bit. I have really been missing like a romance or connection between like the dual characters, like the dialogue I've been missing a little bit. So it's been kind of slow getting into both of the books because they're more so serious and not like, you know, the little fun whimsical reads that I'm used to reading. But I very much wanted to pick up another book that I had on my May TBR, but I did not, because I'm like, stick with the books that you're reading. Even if it takes you a little bit to get through them, we'll just go through that journey. So as much as I wanted to pull a little romance out, I've been behaving and I haven't pulled out my Kindle to start any other books. I'm trying to really finish what I start. So that's why I'm kind of going back and forth between the two. But I've been more so reading this one, and I've been listening to the audiobook as well, and I'm starting to really get into it now. So I am, let's see, almost halfway through the challenge that I'm doing. So I know I'll finish up in a couple of either today or tomorrow, but then that video will come out Friday. I am on chapter 13 of the book. So that is page, I know exactly where I'm in, like 120, like 124-ish. So trying to make my way through that, and then, you know, I still have ways to go, but I'm going to try to read today, which is Sunday the 24th, and tomorrow I'm going to try to read so then I can finish up that challenge and you guys can watch that video on Friday. But let's get into why we're here today, and that is the books that I bought. So the first book that I got from Amazon is called Being There. I think I saw this on Pinterest and I was like, okay, this sounds really good. If you don't know, I have my own business that is coming up called Milestones of Motherhood. It's kind of where my passion is, with helping mothers through the entire perinatal period, which is before pregnancy, and postpartum up to 1 year after the baby's born. So I just have like this interest of that in general, based off of what I went through after my first pregnancy and things that I felt were missing, things that I felt were needed. I am trying to now fill that gap and create something for moms out there that will help support and guide them through that time. So if you're interested in that, follow Milestones of Motherhood on Instagram. I'll leave it somewhere on this thing. But this is Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters, and that's by Erica Commissar, and it just seemed very interesting. So I'm really into like child development and attachment theories, like the psychology part of motherhood and just in general psychology. So this is a compassionate and practical case for making the most of the first 3 years of motherhood. In this important and conversation starting book, veteran psychoanalysis Erica Commissar offers a provocative and compelling premise. The more presence, both physical and emotional, a mother has in her child's life during the first 3 years, the greater the chances the child will grow up emotionally healthy, secure, and resilient. When that essential presence goes missing, children are at higher risk for social, emotional, and developmental issues, both immediate and long-term. Based on more than 2 decades of clinical work, as well as the latest neurobiological and psychological research on attachment, caregiving, and brain development, Being There offers both stay-at-home and working parents practical advice on establishing an emotional connection with a newborn or young child, easing transitions to minimize minimize stress for babies and toddlers, which that one I definitely know I need to learn more about. Combating feelings of postpartum depression or boredom. Selecting and training quality childcare if necessary. Taking control of career and family choices to prioritize parenting in the first 3 years. That's something I'm walking through. Like, I just decrease my hours to work like as minimal as possible to be home with my kids and be present. And then I'm also going to be homeschooling in the fall. So I've been in my own little journey of trying to make sure that I am around and spending this time with my kids, especially while they're younger. It says, as practical as it is empowering, this is a book that celebrates and illuminates the precious bond mothers and young children have and shows how and why to foster it even in a busy and hectic world. So this just seems so good. This is like a book that's going to help me learn, you know, step out of my box of how I currently think and like just get some enlightenment on why it's so important. What are the things that it affects? All that kind of stuff. So that one I'm interested in. I have like a whole section of books that are like motherhood books because it's kind of like my study and education so that I can be able to help and, you know, use evidence-based stuff to help other moms out there. So next I have all about allergies. You're like, girl, why are you buying a book about allergies? Because I suffer through allergies, like seasonal, and it's like, what on earth? Like, we can't just keep suffering through the spring and stuff. And then my daughter has food allergies, so I just kind of want to understand a little bit more about allergies in general. So this is everything you need to know about asthma, food allergies, hay fever, and more. Millions of people suffer from various allergic diseases. They're some of the most common but widely understood afflictions today, and Dr. Rubin has made it his mission to pull back the curtain and help people everywhere understand their allergies and ways to feel better. So there's sections on the history of allergies, asthma, contact dermatitis, sinusitis, food allergies, anaphylaxis, medication allergies, and more, paired with treatment info on medications, immunotherapy, and biologics to equip people with the tools they need to tackle their allergies. It's the ultimate resource for anyone who's ever felt in the dark about their health. So I read for fun, but I also read to learn and to educate myself on things. So this is by Zachary Rubin, and I'm excited for that. As I also have, I have asthma, but exercise induced asthma, so it's not really, I cause my own asthma by doing too much. But it's still going to be interesting to know. But the food allergies definitely with my little one is something new that I'm navigating, and I've never had to do that because I did not have food allergies. My husband doesn't have food allergies. No one in my family, my immediate family, had an allergy. So like, this is all something new that I'm navigating. So book of the month. Get a little thumbnail in there. 2 books that I got. I'm very, very excited. Very, very excited. And I've become a hardcover girly. I've been a paperback girly for a while, but I don't know. Something about a hardcover for me. It's gonna do it every time. So this is Our Perfect Storm. I am so excited for this. I've never read anything by her, so this will be my first time reading something by her. I know she has a lot of good summer reads, but this synopsis, I was like, oh yeah, this I want to read soon. So 1 week in paradise to heal a broken heart. Frankie and George have been best friends since they were 8 years old, both passionate, impulsive, and headstrong. They've always clashed and come back together until now. It's the eve of Frankie's wedding weekend, and she doesn't know where they stand or even if George will show up as her best man. Then, at the start of festivities, in walks George. For one glorious evening, surrounded by her loved ones, Frankie feels her life is finally perfect. But it all comes crashing down when her fiancé dumps her the next morning, leaving only a note as an explanation. Like, excuse me, sir? Crushed and confused, Frankie returns to her family's home to wallow. But George has a different idea and plan for healing Frankie's broken heart. He wants her to go on her honeymoon with him for 1 week to the lush rainforests and misty beaches of Tofino. I don't know how you say that. Frankie agrees, seeing the trip for what it really is, one last chance to repair their friendship. Even if it means unearthing secrets and long-buried feelings neither knows how to handle, even if it means falling apart for good. So we love a friends to lovers, a second chance. That is like my favorite trope. My favorite and it is in one, friends to lovers and second chance. Sarah Demoff. The Burning Side. Now, this is like nothing I've ever read before. I don't know why, but when I read the synopsis, I was like, that's interesting. I like that. And the cover is gorgeous. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And when April and Leo's house burns in the middle of the night, they escape with their 2 young children and the quiet knowledge that the fire is not the only thing threatening their family. They retreat to April's childhood home in Dallas, where her spirited parents and siblings provide both comfort and complication. As the family reckons with the aftermath, grief, guilt, logistics, and memories scorched and intact, the fire exposes the cracks already forming in April and Leo's marriage. The novel unfolds in alternating perspectives, from April, who feels the crushing weight of motherhood, marriage, and self-blame. From Leo, a high school history teacher shaped by a lonely, fractured childhood. From Deb, April's generous and no-nonsense mother who has to contend with her husband's recent Alzheimer's diagnosis. And from flashbacks that trace April and Leo's relationship from its earliest days of connection to the devastating decisions that led them here. A family saga suffered with humor, longing, and heartbreak. The Burning Side is about what we inherit and what we choose, about forgiveness and the ache of being known. It is, above all, about the meaning of home and the cost of long love. Like, you cannot tell me that doesn't sound good. And I love a book that has different perspectives. Like, please, that's what keeps me involved and then makes me want to hurry up and get to the next chapter, because I'm like, okay, I need to hear what they have to say next. So I want to hurry up and get through it. So these usually are the books when they have multiple perspectives that I usually get through quickly. So this is something like I've never read before. I like the idea of like this real life event and walking through their lives and how this event changes things, how living with her parents changes the dynamics of their relationship, maybe makes things, you don't know if it's gonna be better or worse. Sounds like it's going worse, but it's just, there's so much going on. And this just seems like very realistic. So I just like this, and I feel like it's going to be a really good read and just something different. So those are the 4 books that I got. 2 basically regular fictions, 1 romance, one's a little serious, but we like that. But it's romance too. It's navigating marriage. Marriage is not always happy-go-lucky, so life happens, and so I'm interested to see their journey. And then 2 medical side kind of books with research and, you know, talking about motherhood, talking about allergies. This is my personality. If y'all guys haven't noticed by now, I like to read to learn, and I like to read to enjoy. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little video about the books that I bought this week. 2 from Book of the Month, 2 from Amazon, and my husband's gonna yell at me if I buy any more, but we probably will. So just, you know, what can we do? Buying books is a hobby of itself. So sorry, not sorry, but I just want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you've read any of these books, please let me know. If you're interested in reading it, which one kind of stands out to you? If not more than one, would you consider reading or sounds appealing to you? And I gotta go hurry up and get to reading Lady Tremaine and The Nightingale so I can have my challenge video up for you guys on Friday. So have a great rest of your weekend. I hope that you have a great week, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye.
The reason why